Sir, what's the connection between sex and spiritual bliss and sexual bliss?
Well, there is no connection whatsoever between sex and spirituality, no connection whatsoever between sexual bliss and spiritual bliss. People who try to connect the two, sex and spirituality, are fundamentally more interested in sex than in spirituality. Spirituality for them becomes a perfect camouflage where they can experiment with their sexual fantasies. I agree that these teachers are very popular teachers and may attract a lot of attention because it's a fact that more people are interested in sex than in spirituality. And spirituality gives a perfect camouflage to the teacher as well as to the student. That sex and spirituality are connected, or if there is a relationship between the two, it's a myth. And this myth is generated by those who want to fulfill their sexual fantasies and lust using spirituality as a cover. The fact is that spirituality has no connection with sexuality. Spiritual bliss has nothing to do with sexual pleasure, which people like to call as sexual bliss. There's nothing wrong in having sexual pleasure. There's nothing wrong in experimenting with sexual pleasure. I'm not here condemning sexual pleasures or sex. Neither I am supporting celibacy, nor I am condemning sexual pursuits. But I'm trying to clarify, make a distinction that there is no connection between sexual pleasure and spiritual bliss. See, sex is a natural part of human life. All animals, birds, insects have sex for procreation. Humans have sex for pleasure as well as procreation. There are very intelligent people who want to extend sexual pleasures. Lots of researches are being done to increase the sexual energy, the libido. Even medicines to increase sexual pleasures have been created, like Viagra. Even in the scriptures, you'll find a lot of interesting, fascinating techniques of how to increase your sexual pleasures. There's nothing wrong in it. It's a science in itself. But to connect it with spiritual bliss is really absurd. See, animals have sex. Cats, dogs, bitches, donkeys, insects, ants, snakes, reptiles. They all have sex. Humans have the intelligence to extend sexual pleasures. Nothing wrong in it. But to connect it with spiritual bliss is ridiculous. Because spiritual bliss in itself is a realization of the fact that the source of bliss is not body, it's not mind, it's not soul, but the spirit itself. Bliss is non-relational, unconditional, and spirit is the source of bliss. Whereas in sex, you're always dependent upon relations, upon other bodies. You may be dependent upon this body, but it's always conditional. So these two are wide apart. There is, in fact, no relationship between them. Spiritual pleasure, spiritual bliss is totally natural, totally spiritual, has nothing to do with body, mind and soul. Whereas sexual pleasure is always dependent, conditional and associated with the physical body or fantasies. So people who try to link sexuality with spirituality, some people think as if sexual life or sexual experiment is a passport, a visa to spiritual bliss. It is really absurd. Sexuality is sexuality, spirituality is spirituality. Spiritual bliss is spiritual bliss, and sexual pleasures are sexual pleasures. I would like you to reflect and contemplate on the distinction and then decide accordingly. Om Tat Sat.